Welcome back, everybody, to the Fitzpatrick formula. This is our goal to create some structure and direction, possibly leverage some accountability to get some things done. If we had a great group, maybe you'd interact with each other through the Fitzpatrick formula private group on Facebook to gain some additional camaraderie and some support. Maybe having some agents from across the country that are all kind of in it together, in it to win it, and trying their hardest to add 16 transactions a year to their production. My name is Russ Fitzpatrick. I'm one of the founders of AnnieMac Works, the real estate productivity platform that is inspired and sponsored by the mortgage professionals at AnnieMac Home Mortgage. You know, my background is 35 years now in residential real estate. It's been a wild ride. I've had more than a dozen years that I was fortunate enough to make over $1 million in a calendar year, about a dozen different times. I also spent most of my career, the last 15 years or so, helping other agents achieve productivity, profitability, and a sustained increase in their income. That's my beautiful wife, Carrie, who helps us put everything together and has one of the most popular courses in the AnnieMac Works productivity platform, and that course is, of course, known as Farming Fridays. So, look at when I was a young kid, little 18, 19-year-old kid working for the Prudential back in the day, how to present your home for sale, your step-by-step guide to achieving the highest possible price. Tried to establish as much credibility and service for my sellers as I could. I learned an important lesson from some elite realtors early. You got to list to last, baby. If you're not going after the listing inventory, you're probably not going to be a top producer anytime soon. And just as a timestamp on the 1989 copyright there, I look at the telephone numbers. The Russ Information Hotline only had 7 digits before the advent of area codes. That's showing my age. Today I travel the world, get to go all over the place, spend most of my time talking to best agents from across the country. Had a sweet conversation with a $2 billion real estate team to learn some of the things that they're doing in residential real estate. Going to Montana again this summer to visit with some real estate brokerages. I don't know if y'all knew this, but the top real estate agent in the world works in a small little market, and he just sells hundreds and hundreds of homes, dozens of homes every month. So I get to travel Wyoming, Montana, Minnesota, get up to Illinois to see the boys in Chicago, and a lady down in Plantation, Florida, that's making things happen with a $1 billion real estate team down in Plantation. And I get to travel around with my beautiful wife and pick up best practices from across the country. Today, we're going to do something new and different. Roll your eyes if you'd like, but the 10 commandments has been altered for residential real estate into 11 commandments. I obviously felt pretty strongly if I was going to add one to it, but I'm going to run through 10, let's just say it, the 11 commandments of the Fitzpatrick formula. And if we begin to follow these 11 commandments, the structure and the direction and the accountability of following these rules may in fact impact your income. I would like to think that it could become a sustainable increase in your income. The first commandment of the Fitzpatrick formula is I run my real estate business with written goals and specific plans to achieve them. My goals and plans have measurable benchmarks, assigned tasks, and a written timeline. Boy, oh boy, if I met 100,000 realtors in my career, I could tell you that about 90,000 of them don't make any money. And one of the key differences, one of the major indicators of whether someone's going to be successful in any endeavor in their life is whether they have written goals and specific plans to achieve them. If you're one of the people on the outside looking in on written goals, go to the Power of Proper Written Goals in the on-demand section of AnnieMac Works. Click on the link right here on the PowerPoint, or go to the the 11 Commandments printed document that's on our Facebook private group, and you will find a link to the power of proper written goals, half hour together analyzing why written goals and specific plans to achieve them are so important to your future. Number 2 in the 11 Commandments, I operate a real estate business with a business plan. The business plan takes my goals and my plans and some timelines, but then it mashes them all together with my economics. My business plan includes my goals, it includes my plans, it includes benchmarks and timelines that I'm managing, but it also includes economic budgets, projected income, and a defined mission and vision for my organization. I ain't going to operate a real estate business without a business plan. So if you haven't built your business plan in residential real estate, go to the on-demand library at AnnieMacWorks.com, go to Bulletproof Business Plan, and I'll tell you what, there's enough in there to organize your business plan proficiently. Commandment number 3 of the 11 commandments of the Fitzpatrick formula, I operate my business with a clear source of business chart. I want to know where my business is coming from. I need to know in a forecast and in a rear view mirror which sources of business produced ROI, which ones failed me if they did, which ones did I not put enough effort into, and which ones do I need to pour more effort into because they're getting the best return on investment. So source of business charting in the on-demand library is a great way for you to understand how you can track your source of business chart and grow your enterprise with clarity regarding your projections and your return on investment. Commandment number 4 of the 11 commandments of the Fitzpatrick formula, I follow the absentee owner formula of 20 handwritten notes per week, not less than 40 weeks every year, giving me an extra 12 weeks off from my absentee owner formula. At the end of a calendar year, I've written 800 handwritten notes to homeowners that don't live in their home. And for me, as a productive, rigorous residential real estate agent with a career-minded focus, I don't look at the notes as a instant gratification reward, rather a relationship that I'm going to build with these 800 absentee owners so that they become a farm area or an additional sphere of influence for me over time. So if I did 800 handwritten notes in a calendar year and I only took 2 or 3 listings, I don't cry about it. I keep plugging forward, but I've averaged more than 4 active listings taken from the 800 handwritten notes for about 16, 17 years. And there were a few years where I did as many as 15 listings just from doing 800 handwritten notes. So if you want to learn more about that, go to the absentee owner formula in the on-demand library. Number 5, guys, I run a proactive sphere of influence campaign. I'm not reactive about my friends and family and my alumni from my school. I'm not reactive about the people that I used to work with at my other job. I'm proactive, campaigning my sphere of influence to elevate my credibility. I continue to grow my sphere of influence database, minimum 1,000 contacts. And I got to have a goal to get more than 5,000 sphere of influence contacts into my database. I did a quick study of a kid down in Boca Raton that's making about $600,000 a year. His name is Chris Cusimano. We featured him on an interview about sphere of influence, which is in the link below on the on-demand library in the Quarantine Realtor. It's called Sphere of Influence, and it's got Chris Cusimano's The Secret Weapon and what he does with his enormous sphere of influence database. I think it's a great place to start. If you don't have a sphere of influence database, we provided you an Excel spreadsheet and the fields to fill in. The 5th commandment of the 11 in the Fitzpatrick formula is absolutely proactive marketing to my sphere of influence. Number 6, I manage a geographic or subdivision farming campaign. I got to find 600 to 1,200 homes or more so that I could take some listings and that I can develop my area of specialization. Riches are in the niches, and this gives me a pride in ownership and an increased sense of credibility with my consumers that I specialize in Hawks Landing, that I specialize in Shadowwood, that I specialize in Cowie Valley. Wherever I specialize, I need my customers to know that I specialize in their subdivision or their geographic area. If you want to learn more about that, just jump on the On Demand Library. Go to week 1 in the Farming Fridays coaching program, and you'll learn everything that Carrie did to sell about $11 million a year from her geographic farm area, and some of the new things that she's picked up in the new era of digital marketing to your farm area. That's a great place to start if you don't already have a geographic farm area. Number 7, more than halfway through the 11 commandments, I manage a pay-per-click budget of some kind of social media campaign like WebWorks or some other specific lead generation model. Friends use Boomtown Leads. Some friends use Sync, new product out in the market called YLopo that's getting a lot of attention. Google straight pay-per-click to my website works well. Zillow or Realtor.com, the 800-pound gorillas in the room who kind of steal our leads and sell them back to us. But I've got to generate somewhere above 100 leads a month that flow into my CRM. I've got to generate those leads to give me borrowers and buyers that might be interested in my listings, but also to build a database of consumers that know, trust, and respect me. If you haven't started lead generation and lead conversion, stop asking whether Realtor.com works. Stop asking whether internet leads are good. Stop asking whether Facebook leads are good. Just bring yourself in 100 leads a month into your CRM, immediate contact. We contact our leads within 15 seconds, have about 34% of our leads turn into meaningful dialogue. 28% of our clients end up with a credit pull. I mean, gosh, guys, we are talking about simple sales. It's a numbers game. Bring in 100, have meaningful conversations with 34, do a pre-qualification with your AndyMac loan officer on about 25 or 28 of them, and get about 10 of them into a contract. That's kind of fun, isn't it? Automatic follow-up, automated follow-up, very important real estate robotics. A lot of that's talked about in the language of lead conversion. You can find that in the on-demand library as well. Number 8, I have a formal customer care and servicing platform. I have taken the time to formalize my customer care so that there's structure to it. And my listing inventory enjoys a formal servicing platform where everything has its place and everything fits into the right place. In other words, what I do for a client in the 3rd day that they have a listing with me, the 10th day, the 14th day, the 21st day, it's all laid out in my listing servicing platform and my customer care initiative, formalizing and really being able to deliver the promises that you make on a listing appointment. You want to have some formal customer care and customer servicing formulas that you follow. If you want to peek into formalizing your customer care, go to the Customer First Professional Designation in our on-demand library. It's an absolutely, every course is free. There's no charge for any of this. AndyMac Home Mortgage writes the checks to sponsor these live and on-demand training environments. Number 9, I understand how to help my credit challenged consumers find a path to homeownership. Of the 34 meaningful dialogue that we have, of the 34 people that we talk to out of every 100, shoot, it seems like about half of them have no ability to buy a house right now. They don't have enough money saved up. They have a lower credit score. Their credit score is prohibitive, so their interest rates getting jacked up because they're, a higher credit risk. And I understand, and you should understand, how to help your credit challenged consumers find a path back to home ownership. If you're interested in that, you're looking, if you're on the outside looking in, go to the Consumer Credit Expert certification, the CCEC, half-hour course with a half-hour follow-up, 1 hour of your life to learn the tricks of the trade and how to avoid predatory credit repair vendors that really just take your customers' money to manipulate their credit rather than really, you know, earnestly try to repair the credit over time. 10th commandment, I can overcome unique challenges for pet lovers who may be a victim of pet discrimination, breed restrictions, weight restrictions, exotic pets like tarantulas or ferrets, or even a monkey or a cheetah or a peacock, right? The pet friendly real estate agent understands the emotional support animal laws, knows who to call when they have a pet discrimination issue, and you can overcome unique challenges for pet lovers if you take the time to learn how. Go to the on-demand library, Pet Friendly Real Estate Agent, and take that free certification. I think that class is only a half hour long. And the reason that I added the 11th commandment is because I didn't have enough room to fit all of them into 10. And I really wanted to include that I differentiate myself from the sea of sameness as a real estate staging expert. There's 1.6 million realtors out there, but only about 160,000 of them have a education in real estate staging. Only about 160,000 of them are like Joanne Gaines from the Fixer Uppers or like the Property Brothers on HGTV, right? The sea of sameness is I'll put your house in the MLS. The differentiation is, would you rather hire a residential real estate agent or would you rather hire a professional real estate agent that's also a staging expert? Can I milk more equity out of your house? Can I squeeze every ounce of profitability out of your residence because I know a handful of deal killers? I know a handful of ways to make a greater emotional connection with consumers. I know how to have your front entry look, your foyer look, your master bedroom, your master bath look. Joanne Gaines has made a living and become America's sweetheart staging residential real estate to enunciate a wow factor for her buyers. But think about the service that you can provide to a seller. If you just go in and say, let's clear off this bookshelf, let's put these away, let's get some storage and get some of the stuff out of here, let's take this old recliner out of here, let's deal with some of the darkness, dampness, dinginess, and odor in this house. Let's get rid of the wood rot now because we're going to have to do it later. Let's go ahead and clean up these gutters, these windows, and take these screens out. Come on, guys. The sea of sameness is put your house in the MLS and put your feet up and wait. Differentiate yourself by adding value with consumer credit and staging and pet friendly, and really differentiate yourself from the sea of sameness. And those are the 11 commandments of the Fitzpatrick formula. If you have any questions or have any trouble in the on-demand library, call 1-800-299-WORKS and talk to Devin. The concierge of Annie Mac Home Mortgage is at 1-800-299-WORKS. And as always, you can email us at service@anniemacworks.com. This is a new type of relationship for us. We're trying to build an intrinsic value with structure, direction, and accountability, and leave it to you guys to create the camaraderie and support between each other in the private Facebook group called the Fitzpatrick Formula. So thanks for being on. 11 commandments of the Fitzpatrick Formula, and that was week 6. Thanks very much.